DQ fam.
Hey DQ fam.
Welcome back to our channel.
Welcome back.
We'd like to welcome 16,000 of you. Like
16,000 subscribers.
That's actual people. Like
yeah, individual lives.
It's mad. But we thank God because I was literally hoping that we're just going to encourage, our friends and family and the people around us and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like the internet has just brought people from afar, and I'm so grateful.
That's I know for a small dream. There's 7 billion people out there. We're going to touch every single one of you.
Sounds so creepy.
There is more.
You're gonna get them, innit?
There is more. Share the videos, guys. We're going to spread the love across the world.
Oh my days. Anyways, welcome back to our channel, guys. And we're on this series of talking about cultural competence. How do we deal with people who are different to ourselves? Yeah. You all know how different and difficult.
Yeah, it's quite difficult.
Yeah, it's struggle, is real. How different we are. Like, I'm an extrovert, he's an introvert, all of that jazz. And you bring that into a relationship and you're like, ooh, it's a bit tricky.
Yeah.
So we've done 3 parts of this series already. We've done the first part where we talked about how different we are. Yeah. We did part 2 where we talked about how we overcome those differences. Part 3 was about our gender differences in the household and how we allocate tasks. And now
we are talking about, okay, what happens if your differences are too much? When do you know when to actually split and go over the separate ways? So I go here and you go there.
And you just call it a day, because there might be, some people are in seasons for too long. You're just trying to
You're going around the same mountain. Same mountain, 40 years, just lost in the wilderness.
We went to Christian Banter, that's so funny. Anyway, maybe it's only funny to us, but trust me, sometimes just call it a day, just God's best is out there for me.
The same journey that was supposed to take 11 days took 40 years. Are you mad? Anyway, so yeah,
that's the proportion. That's what we're saying, basically.
Yeah.
So maybe this video is for you to know it's time to cut it off. You need to cut it. We're meant to be. Yes. Anyway, let's go. Okay, so the first sign that you need to go your separate ways is if you have different views on commitment.
Commitment. It might sound silly, but if one person is not committed to the relationship cannot move on. Yeah. And sometimes it might be silly. Someone has a fear of commitment, but doesn't want to let you go. Yeah. So you're just in limbo. Yeah. In nowhere. Like,
do you know that the definition of commitment can mean different things to different people?
Yeah.
Like, to me, commitment could mean, we are together. We are, not seeing anyone else outside of the relationship. It's just a 2 people relationship.
But commitment to some other people means like, you're my full-time job. Yeah. You're my 9 to 5.
But then outside of hours, like, I got something else going on.
Exactly.
Like, that's why it's so important to communicate about these things. And if you're on different pages about what commitment means, bye. Like, it should be very easy. It's not about, his idea of commitment might change, or I need to show him a different way. It's just like, no, you think it's something different to what I think. I'm not a priority to you, so let's get out of here.
Yeah, and for us, luckily, we were on the same page in terms of commitment. So for us, she's full-time, part-time, all the time. She's the only one, no side things around, And yeah, so for us, we're committed.
Yeah, it was pretty simple for us. And then when we talk in commitment, like, some people actually don't believe in marriage, and that's fine because that's what they've decided. But if you believe in marriage, have you had that conversation? Because you could be there 10 years, no ring, and you're waiting. But because you didn't have the conversation early, you're in what they define as commitment. So it's really important to have this conversation, and if you're on different pages, then it's time to, the difference is too much. Like, the difference is way too much. Okay, so the second sign that your differences are too much and you need to go separate ways is where you don't understand each other's love languages.
Yeah, love languages are so important.
Major key.
It's definitely a major key.
Yeah.
It's because the thing is, there's this difference between our intention and how it's received. And like when we started our relationship, I would always give things to Anna. I would always do things for Anna. But the one thing I wasn't doing, I wasn't telling her that I liked her. So for her, she was like, you're doing all this stuff, but you haven't said anything, so therefore,
And I used to ask the question like, do you actually like me? Are you sure? He's like, yeah, but I'm showing you. And to me, I wasn't receiving it because I like
and she was talking
words.
A lot.
And the same with you. I was saying it all the time, but he was like, you're not showing me that you like me, not showing me. And I can imagine if we were in that scenario for even longer, like years, it just wouldn't be functional. Like, we would not be happy in our relationships, would not feel loved. So sometimes, like, if the other person's not willing to understand you better or willing to change the way that they like to give love or communicate love to you, then that's a sign that maybe they're not the right person for you after all, because one of the biggest things in relationships is compromise. And if you're not willing to compromise the way that you like to do things for the sake of the other, then you're not meant to be together, really. And it's not the type of person that you want to be with. So yeah, it looks like it's languages on the surface, but deep down it's actually the idea of compromising and changing who you are. So the third sign that is just too much in your relationship and you need to go separate ways is when you have arguments but they actually don't come to any sort of solution. Imagine, we're talking about going around the same mountain, but it's serious. You could be going around the same mountain for years, arguing about the same topics for years, and no one is compromising, no one is trying to find a solution. You're just arguing about the same things over and over, and that just gets long. Because that's a sign that you're not moving forward in your relationship.
Definitely, it's definitely important to make compromises along the way, because you both come from different places in your life, and you have to come to, okay, this is what I did in my part, this is what you did in your part. Now, what are we going to do with the next years that we have in front of us? Because we have to come to a place where we're resolving the conflict and understanding so that we can move forward. Yeah,
because I know we say all the time, like, oh, we're always arguing, and the reason why, the way you can distinguish healthy arguments from unhealthy arguments is, you know, are you actually compromising at the end of it? Are you coming to a solution that is mutually beneficial for both of you? Are you winning as a couple at the end of the argument? Because for us, when we argue, it's like, wow, at the end of it, we're like, oh, I understand you a bit better now. It's not just for the sake of it.
We're not really arguing, just having discussions.
Heated discussions, but we're coming to a better understanding of each other. We're understanding how we're going to move forward in our relationship. But if you're just arguing for arguing's sake, and then you just both go your separate ways, and then you're like, oh babe, I'm sorry, and then you'll come back together, that's not really resolving it, because you haven't spoken about what you've discussed.
And sometimes it could be quite intimidating to actually bring up certain things, but we have to go through those difficult points just to make our relationship stronger, because there's no point having not facing on and not resolving certain things that's within your heart, because your partner might not actually know, and it's good to actually bring it out and resolve the problem rather than harboring a sense of hatred towards your partner. The next thing you know, you're running away, your partner is just a bit confused.
So when you get to a point when it's just unbearable and you're just repeating the same arguments and no one wants to compromise, it's just better to just go your separate ways. Like, it's not about battling through every single conversation to trial. Like, sometimes move on.
And enjoy life, you know?
Do you know what I mean? So the fourth sign that you might need to go your separate ways because the difference is just too much is that the things that excite them frustrate you. Mate.
It's like someone could be so passionate about their career and where they're going and the opportunities they have, and this just burns within you, and it just shows that you almost have no future with the person, because if the thing that they're passionate about and they're dreaming for, you know, annoys and frustrates you, that almost means that you don't see a future with them in terms of where they're going. So again, these are signs that it's probably not going to work.
I got nothing more to add on that one. Like, it's so real. Sometimes
you don't actually want to be like leaving yourself in the situation. You actually may become a hindrance to what God wants to do in their life. So it's probably better off just to part ways, so that they can go and fulfill what they want to do, and you can fulfill what you want to do.
Because at the end of the day, it will end up in resentment just building up in your heart. Like, and it's not a resentment. It's not even healthy. Resentment is never healthy. But sometimes, like, just because of their dreams and desires, that's like, oh, I don't like it. Oh, it's frustrating me. Oh, it's compromising from our time that we have together. All these things that will just build up in your heart, and one day you'll just burst because they're ending up being a pastor, and you're just like, I don't have that passion. You know, whatever it is, like, it will end up destructing your relationship. So it's better to depart ways from the beginning and actually do that kind of thing. Like, someone said something about they had a heart for London, and their partner had a heart for a completely different country, and they were both very passionate about that.
Yeah.
But they liked each other. So
and they didn't really want to do a long distance relationship. So one person was trying to drag the other person to another country. But why would you do that if you're both passionate and called to separate places?
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to leave on a good page and just be like, okay, you know, I love you. However, we're not called to the same place.
Yeah.
So
let's not be together. Yeah. So the fifth sign that you might need to go your separate ways is that you don't enjoy each other's company. Guys, you know we talk about this one all the time. Like, we are about having fun. Yeah. Like, at the end of the day, there's nothing worse than seeing a couple that is just unhappy. Like, you two chose to be together, but you're unhappy. Like, you have to force the joy.
Sitting in a restaurant for 3 hours without saying a word. It's a mad thing.
Like, because sometimes we can be so desperate for relationships that it can be anyone, and you're just like, yeah, I don't find you interesting, there's nothing exciting, maybe you're just attractive, and then you can just
there.
Not enjoy the relationship because it's not fun. And then you can start idolizing other people's relationship because you see them having fun all the time. Because boy, we have fun, do you know what I mean? We have so much fun. And that's the things that you have to ask yourself, like, am I actually having fun with this person? Because if you're not, then why are you there? Because at the end of the day, life is hard as it is. It's so hard. You want to come home to an environment that is fun. And what makes it fun is the two people, is the two of you. You know, you can be there eating crackers and have no money in the bank. But because it's you two and your personalities and your characters, you're just like, yeah, this is fun. Like, at the end of the day,
it's important to have fun.
It's so important. Yeah. And sometimes
we just need to just go into their environment to have fun and put ourselves out there. But it's very important to have fun in relationships. Marriages and relationships are not all this serious thing now. Oh my God, we've now become adults. So like, let's be more serious. It's important to have fun. Let your hair down, because you don't want to be in a position where your partner's run into all these different places to have fun rather than coming home.
So we'd say that if you're not having fun in your relationship,
start having fun today.
Start having fun or go separate ways, because you might actually not find that person interesting. Because a lot of people in life that I don't find interesting, I'm like, okay, this conversation really needs to end now. But that can't be with your spouse. Like, at the end of the day, that should be the most interesting of conversations. I'm literally always running home to Gabes because I'm like, can't wait to talk to my best friend. And that's the mindset that you should have. But if you don't have that with the person that you're with, then maybe they're a bit boring.
You're just a bit too different.
Yeah. So the sixth and final sign that you might need to depart ways because you're just so different is when, like, you can't forgive them for their past mistakes.
Yeah. If your partner, see, the thing is about relationships, over a time period, no matter how holy they are, no matter how pretty they are, they will offend you. Okay, this is just the way of life when it comes to relationships. They will offend you, and if you've forgiven that person, you need to let it go. You need to let it go. You can't point the finger and be like, remember when you used to do this to me? Remember when you used to do that to me? You have to really just allow them to, you know, because people change in relationship and they get better. So it's important to see the difference that they've made rather than taking them back to a place. And if we can't do that and allow people to change within their relationship, then it's important just to let them go if you can't forgive them.
100%. Forgiveness is like a big thing, and sometimes forgiveness takes time. But if it's taking you years and you're really just holding the person back from actually being this new person,
even holding your relationship back from flourishing,
then maybe it's just not healthy for you guys to be together. And sometimes when your partner is actually looking at you from a particular lens where they've seen your past mistakes, or this whole body count thing, like how many people a girl has slept with, some guys, they come into a relationship with you and they can't actually forgive the fact that that was your past. And if that's the case, then maybe they're not the right person for you to be with, because boy, that's not me now. I'm committed to you now, but they can't get over your past. And that's a sign that you're maybe just too different. Like, you want to move on with your, future. They want to hold you to your past. Bye, Felicia.
Or you've got the situation where, as one grows up, they're conditioned to, this is how women are. Sometimes men will say women are trash, and women will say men are trash, because they're conditioned to seeing people who are trash, technically. So they come in a relationship viewing that, a woman's just gonna be a gold digger, a woman's just gonna be a hoe or whatever, and then they kind of treat you as if you're one. Like, we can't box people, and if they've put you in a box and they don't see you different to the stereotype, then that might be time to go.
So this is a quick video, guys. We really hope you understand where we're coming from with this video, and we hope it's giving you some food for thought. This is obviously before marriage. Once you got the ring, that's a covenant. You understand, innit?
Yeah.
We gotta do this. We gotta fight through.
We gotta fight through, yeah.
But beforehand, like, there are signs to say that you two are just very different, and maybe you're better with different people. So we hope we're giving you food for thought, and we're gonna start a new series. We hope you've enjoyed this one, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye. Peace.